What?
I went to the wrong account.
Oh.
I went to your big one.
Oh.
Because I have to cover
Mm.
yours. So I can pay your comment.
Man, that is some good damn tea. That is like, that is where it's at right there. This has two turntables and a microphone. This is like, num, num, num. This is some good tea. I don't care what anybody says, golden oolong tea. This right here is just boss. I love this stuff. I could drink this if it's nice and cold. It's like angel fingers running down your... No, because I'm going to pack the rest of that bowl for later. You know, for the kids. Just kidding. You know, word. So go try some golden oolong tea. What's up, America? How you doing, Andrew? Well, today the news is a bit light, isn't it? Yeah, it's right. The news here in the United States is a bit light. So we're going to go over the absolute bullshit of the news with Donald Trump at Davos. And then we're going to talk all kinds of smack. And then instead of sitting here yelling at liberals, I'm going to give you my government so that people will know where my politics are. Hell, maybe we can even educate. What's up, Cora? Maybe we can even educate the people of YouTube of what a political compass is, actually. We'll get into that later. Oh, that's easy. That's me yelling. So anyway, as you know, Donald Trump was in... What's up, America? Donald Trump was in Davos, Switzerland, and told the investors that bought large swaths of homes that they're not going to be able to do that anymore, that they made great investments in money, but that they're screwing over the American people by buying hundreds of thousands of homes and keeping them off the market. So that was an absolute truth and a victory by Donald Trump, which is absolutely true. Also, today, Donald Trump sues Jamie Dimon for $5 billion, which is a large and unheard of amount. Wonderful as it's going. By the way, like I said, not much news tonight. It's a bunch of horse shit. A judge rejects Don Lemon being charged by the DOJ. We've got Jack Smith testifying before Congress with a bunch of political back and forth that nobody gives a crap about. Democrats saying it was perfectly legitimate, with Republicans calling it a criminal scheme. So that's what we have going on there. Chinese scientists released giant winter storm starting already out in Oklahoma and Arkansas, headed this way towards the east coast of the United States, upwards of 20 inches of snow for some communities, and of course catastrophic ice storms from Texas and Oklahoma all the way through Mississippi and Virginia. Forecasters warn of a potential catastrophic storm ranging from Texas and Oklahoma all the way. Our president, is any wealthy? Oh yeah, of course he is. All the way to North Carolina. So the Associated Press is saying, with many Americans recovering from multiple blasts of snow and freezing temperatures this weekend, we're going to be having ice storms from Texas and Oklahoma to the Carolinas. By the way, my power bill came. I just want to get into that. My last month's power bill was $547. This month's power bill was $600 and how much? $607 for a fucking power bill. $607. Suck my fucking ass, barf. Are you kidding me? $607? God damn, if I had a TikTok account, I would go bitch about it over there. But that is absolute horrifying injustice, saying that everybody in the state is now suffering. My wife has a co-worker who says that she keeps her house down on what? 65 degrees and paid about $150 to $200 a month less. What's up, Kimberly? $607 for a fucking power bill. Suck my dick. Somebody needs to investigate the utility companies, but I know they won't, and it'll be too little, too late, just like every other thing in America is here. Donald Trump, for instance, just told the crowd at Davos that finally American companies need to quit buying large swaths of houses because the next 2 generations won't be able to afford it. Now we have utility companies fucking people over. Something needs to happen here. But by the time any of our government gets anywhere, it'll be 5 years too late. Hey, did you guys know that the amount of people living in extended stay hotels and in RVs is expected to quadruple in the next 2 years? Hey, did you know that 5 million people are expected to be living in their car in the next 2 to 3 years? Let me just put that number into perspective. Right here in the United States, we have a little over 1.2, 1.3 million homeless people, depending on how you cut it. What's up, Meep? And they're saying in the next 2 to 3 years, because here, Lighter, that 5 million people will be living in their cars or RVs, with another million or so spending up to 70% of their income living in extended stay hotels. So that's the American dream now. Living in an extended stay hotel or living in a fucking RV. Suck my dick. What's up, Marine? So, that being the case, this is not looking good for the future. Jobs are still being taken by AI more and more every day. We had approximately in the last 2 years, what's up, Nana? In approximately the last 2 years, we have had basically, I think it was 1.7 million layoffs in the last 2 years. What's up, Ruthie? So we're expecting triple to quadruple the amount of people living in either campers, in the car. I know it's hard, man. Or living in a fucking extended stay hotel. The government refuses to provide any type of social safety net whatsoever for the poor, telling you to work harder, but the jobs are fewer and fewer. So I don't exactly know how we're going to do this. Now we're paying a third. So a third of the cost of rent is now a utility bill. So that's more than a car payment. So I guess being warm when it's 20 below zero is now some kind of incredible luxury. Looks like we're going to have to start having fire pits in our living room. But I'm sure somehow that'll be illegal, right? Because everything else is in this fucking country. Anyway, so I have to say a lot about this. It doesn't really matter. Historic natural gas price spikes, extreme winter storms bring the price of natural gas in the winter-prone areas 70% higher since last year. Listen to this. Gas prices, what's up, America? Gas prices have skyrocketed 70% in the last week. Because in the highest prices as far as income is concerned since 1990. So people are paying the highest prices ever, and the highest prices as far as income to payment ratio in the last 30 fucking years. And we're supposed to say that this is okay. Utility companies are saying the delivery, not the cost, but yes, I do believe in Jesus, of course. Utility companies are saying that the price of gas is only up slightly, but the delivery to your home on already existing lines, by the way, is now upwards. U.S. electric prices are up 40%. Year over year, gas prices are up 70%. So if you have to heat your home in this storm, you are fucked. Only that's what's happening to everybody here in the United States. So as of right now, it's looking like the United States does not have much wiggle room for its people. The rich, sorry, the weed is strong. So the United States is turning into a similar nation as India, where the several 1,000 or so people have all the money, and the rest of America is basically arguing over scraps, which is what most of the rest of the world does. This is why aliens won't come and commit to the United States. And the reason that is because we're an unevolved group of dumb fucks. If we want our society to get better, here you go, honey, and we want the alien races from other planets to finally visit, we have to start doing some things. It's very great flour. It's supposed to, Marine. At least that's what they're saying. I think that'll be a huge waste of money, in my opinion. But whatever works. So we have to do some things here fundamentally in our, not just our country, but the entire world, in order to, what's up, big country, in order to make the United States and the world an evolved place. Now we have a bowl. My wife used to have a one-hitter. Here you go. So the first thing we need to do, and this is for everybody needs to change their political fucking rhetoric. Not your political beliefs, your political rhetoric. All that dumbass bullshit needs to stop. Alien species will never visit us if we're arguing about helping the poor. They think we're horrible people. We have to stop being so bitter. We have to evolve our cities. Get people off of all kinds of drugs like fentanyl. What's up, Jacqueline? And we have to do certain things to evolve our society. Now, a lot of people will say, well, I'm a conservative or I'm a liberal, and so I'm not allowed to believe certain things. You're stuck in your little political dumbfuckery, whatever that is. Cocksucker phase there. And you need to get out of that. You need to get out of that situation there. So you can be a conservative and have some liberal leanings, and you can be a liberal and have some conservative leanings. This is not a cult of personality, but a lot of people have taken this to heart here in the United States. So, but yet you know all. See, this is the behavior you need to stop. You see that cocksucker behavior there? You need to stop that. Because you look like a fucking bitch and people hate you because of it. So that little fucking stupid, snarky, dumbass shit. Yeah, that's another reason why people don't like any of this anymore. Because you can't stop being a fucking douchebag. So I'm just going to, anybody that's watching, I'm going to give everybody some type of, what do they call that? Homework assignment. Can you go online and not make a derogatory statement to somebody? Or do you have shit for brains? That's what I'd like to know. Can you go online and not make a fucking derogatory statement? And the thing is I know you can't. It's the low IQ thing. That's why we're not evolving. You're still fighting over if people and elderly need health care or if we should feed them. So I don't have any hope for humanity whatsoever. That's right, fucking oi, mate. So when I see people saying, okay, well, I don't like what this guy's saying, so I'm going to retaliate as if I'm being personally attacked. First of all, stop being a piece of shit. You're not being personally attacked whatsoever. I'm talking. It's not a personal attack on you, your family, or anything but that, or like that. Now, to believe so means you have something called main character syndrome. And I'll read my government here in a minute, and I do have it all figured out. So suck my dick. Yeah. So we're not doing the smart-ass bullshit. That stupid attitude, that sarcastic, kind of snarky horse shit, we're ending that as a society now. We're done with that. The thing where you go on Twitter, where Twitter is your life, where somebody says something, and even if it's true, it wasn't said in the right way. So, yeah, it may be this, but you don't really, I don't, that little bullshit, right? That little bullying kind of cocksucker behavior you've been doing for a while. We're going to end that as a society. That right there makes me want to punch people because there's nothing good about it. It's just somebody saying something that they believe, and then somebody else saying, I feel it necessary to be an asshole and a troll. So what I want to do is beat the fuck out of you. And I will beat the fuck out of you. And so we're going to see, look at you. Or perhaps delusions of, or is that for me or somebody else? Whatever it is, that snarky cocksucker shit, we're going to get over that. Because that proves that you're not grown up. It proves that you're an adult child when you act like that. So anybody out there that acts like that has some little snarky horse shit to say for whether it's good or bad, that's a de-evolved society. That's a de-evolved person. That person doesn't have a very high IQ because all they know how to do is thrash about like an animal, which is once again why aliens don't land here. Because right now, if aliens landed here, you would have a spaceship that would land in Las Vegas. The aliens would come out and be like, peace, we need to bring peace to Earth. And you would look at him and say, you're a little tall, don't you think? Look at that spaceship, not as technologically advanced as I thought. And they would look at you and they would take out their laser beam, turn you into some type of pudding, and then they would fucking leave and be like, this planet's not done yet. These people are too fucking retarded to talk to. And because of the fact that since Donald Trump ran for office, basically the last decade, you guys have turned retarded. There's not much that can be done in our country until some of you, a majority of you, start pulling your heads out of your anuses. And that's really where we're at right here. I don't know how else to put it to you. Everybody got this belief that your political party was going to save you. You devolved 30 years. You stuffed your head up your own ass, believing that the Republicans or the Democrats would save you. I'm urging you all, and I know there's going to be some snarky dumb fuck that'll say something. You looked at, I don't care. Fuck you. Before you even say anything, fuck you. I had sex with your mother last night. Excelsior. Exactly. So, that being the case, what we're going to do is we're going to try something. And I know a lot of you haven't been able to do this because your head's stuffed up your ass politically. So what we're going to try to do is listen and not hear. What I want everybody to do, what's up, Woodsman, is I want you to go on an opposing political party's live stream. And I want you to sit there and listen to it without some snarky horse shit. That's what I don't care if you don't believe it or not. If you're MAGA, I want you to go to a Dean Withers live stream and sit there and shut the fuck up for a second. And if you're a liberal, I want you to go on, who's a conservative now? Go over to some conservatives live stream and sit there and shut the fuck up. Don't say anything about Trump. Don't say anything to some snarky bullshit. This is a discipline lesson. Because nobody has any discipline, you see? And that's the problem here. Nobody can restrain themselves. Everybody must be held accountable. They don't, and it's not your place. Ben Shapiro, there you go. And so since it's not your place, well, I'll stop smoking when everybody stops acting like a cocksucker. How's that sound? So once we do that, then I can put this away. But for now, even with the discipline of a Shaolin master, this right here is all that quells me between dumb fucks and blowing their brains out on a daily basis. So unless you want a fucking mass casualty event, we're going to keep smoking this until people stop being retarded. Now, of course, the guy that was here, well, you'll learn this once. No. This isn't you running my live stream. Here you go, honey. What this is you are going to do a discipline test. That's why I'm doing this. Thank you, right, Reef.
I think it's Carol.
Oh, it's Carol?
I
Okay.
think it's Carol.
Okay, very cool. Thank you, Carol. So then I'm yelling because your mom's not over here sucking my dick. That's why. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I have just said my piece, and yet you still sit here talking your shit. You have no discipline. Do you understand how that is? So every conservative, I want you to go listen to a liberal live stream. And I want you to not say anything. And every liberal, I want you to listen to a conservative live stream and not say anything. Oh, it's a person with a dog. They had a big flashlight, though. And the reason I want you to say that or do that is because doing that will install personal discipline. Do you understand? And without that, you have no discipline. So, here you go. And this is why most of you, not all, but most of you will not be able to function in the political world because you will hear a third of somebody's thoughts, opinions, whatever, and then you will initially talk shit. Thank you, Kimberly. Without knowing anything, yeah, suck my dick, Double K. Without knowing anything, without any of that, you'll just, oh, he's saying this, I got this much into it, so therefore it looks like I know what this person's saying. So, and this is a TikTok thing. This doesn't happen on YouTube as much. You are proving me wrong, though. But what TikTok invented was something called straw manning. You ever heard of what straw manning is? By the way, coming up here, I'm going to read my politics and government. So then you can tell, then you can say how I am. Because I haven't told anybody that. Just remember that. What's up, me? So, straw manning is where you tell somebody how they are. And then you tell them to explain why you are what they told you you were when you weren't. Thank you, Kimberly. So, for instance, if I say, I want to kick out the illegal aliens, somebody will say, tell me that, why are you a Nazi? I'm like, well, I'm not a Nazi. That's a National Socialist. I want to make people follow the rule of law when it comes to immigration. Well, it's like, so you asked me to define. What's up, April? You asked me to define something you made up for me not knowing me. So that would be like if I say, oh, you're a white guy, therefore tell me why you're a racist. And you're married and have children with a black woman. You say, well, I'm not. I'm not a racist. I married a black woman and I have 2 kids because I'm not a racist. And then you say, well, marrying a black woman and having 2 kids doesn't, that you can still be a racist. I'm just making shit up. I hope it does. It's from South Park. And I hope it does sound like that. And so that's what it is. And so you cannot, as a liberal or a conservative, but mostly liberals, you cannot sit there and just talk shit without knowing a person thinking you do, because that makes you retarded. And that's what we're seeing in America. People that can't even read or write trying to come on social media talking about how politics and I'm wrong. You are literally getting people, thank you, April, You literally now have professors that are saying, my students cannot read. I'll bring my government up here in a minute. So we literally have professors saying, these people are in college, they have no discipline. These people are in college and they don't know how to categorize and read. So they can read, but they don't understand the information that's coming into their mind from reading. They're called National Socialists. That's just a name. It's called the National Socialist Democratic Workers Party, or the NSDAP. And yes, Jesus is God. Yeah, I know a lot about World War II history. Right? You want to know the generals that invaded with Operation Barbarossa? You want to know why Rommel was killed, or why he killed himself, I should say? I mean, there's thousands of topics. We're talking about something else now. And so that's what it is. So we have an entire society of people that want to lead and want to be leaders of politics, but they have the equivalent of someone shitting in their head. Yeah. So you're saying we want to be able to help the poor, but you can't even fathom listening to a Republican talk. So you have no discipline to speak. So you have liberals saying, oh, any ICE even existing is racism. Well, that's called leading through emotion, not through logic, which means you're not capable of leading. And that's the problem, is everybody is emotional. Emotional damage, everyone. Politically conservative, you're upset because the liberals called everybody white a racist and wanted to give everything to illegals. So fuck them. But then the liberals, well, that's racist. It's not racist to kick out illegal aliens. Just you're blind because dumbasses told you different and you believed it. You believe that you're morally superior because you'll give things to illegal aliens, even though you don't give anything to your own people. And Republicans think they're morally superior because they make you work through hard work and merit to gain. But they don't help the poor. Neither of you fuckfaces are morally superior. The liberals take money from American citizens and give it to others, even though they should think about the citizens that gave them the money first. And Republicans refuse to help the poor. So you're both morally inferior. Both of you suck dick. You're both morally inferior. And you both should be ashamed of yourselves. But you won't be. You won't be because you're too obsessed with the smell of your own fucking farts. And that's what it is every day. I'm a liberal. I'm better than Trump. Oh, yeah. Well, at least I'm not a liberal. Oh, God. It's like a sex toy. But you're both morally inferior. Both of you fuckfaces. The Democrats and the Republicans, you're both morally inferior. You're not capable of leadership because both of you won't stop fighting like fucking children, you dumb asswipes. And you won't fucking believe anything anybody else says. So if I'm a fiscal conservative, which I am, but I believe that there are some reasons that an abortion might need to happen, like if rape or incest or if the mom's gonna die, that's not from the devil. That's just common sense. You shouldn't have to raise an incest baby or a rape baby, and if you're gonna die, then it doesn't make sense to have the baby die with you. So that should be no problem whatsoever. However, everybody's retarded and they don't think about that. Then you get, oh, well, if you try to make someone work for a living, you're a monster. Well, that's not the case either. Working for a living builds character and a discipline. But you shouldn't have to work 90 hours a week for 52 years to afford a fucking house. So there's got to be somewhere in the middle there. Somewhere in the middle that you can say you should have to work, but it should be cheaper to live. You should have to work maybe 35 hours a week, but maybe you work 4 days a week. Maybe you can take 2 vacations a year and afford a house on one income. Maybe it shouldn't cost $64,000 for a fucking degree. Does anybody notice that the cost of everything keeps increasing? You understand that's not normal, correct? Like, in no time in history, if the price keeps going up and up and up and up, that's not a good fucking sign. I mean, something's a problem. There's a problem there. So if you say, well, 10 years ago, a house cost this. Now it's quadruple. That's not fucking normal. That either means that the value of your dollar is in the shitter, or people are price gouging you. It's one of the two. It's not other things. It's either your money is worth diarrhea, or you're being fucked up the ass by a company. It's one of the two, because there's not a third. Unless a hurricane wipes out 94% of the homes, then there's not anything other than those two choices. But we keep living in a fantasy land of we'll just work harder. How? How are you fuckfaces gonna work harder when AI is taking your job? But then your response is work harder or you're lazy, or pay us $30 an hour. Well, both of those are stupid. If you pay somebody $30 an hour, so Mom Donnie in New York, we're going to pay $30 an hour by 2030. Okay. So what will companies do if you get paid $30 an hour? What will they do? Will they keep the prices the same knowing you're making $30 an hour? What's up, BG? How you doing? No, company, if you raise minimum wage to $30 an hour, companies will double their fucking price because they know you're making $30 an hour. So they will fuck you and fist you financially. So if the whole country, we're raising the minimum wage to $30 an hour. Okay, well, let's raise it to $100 an hour. What do you think they'll do? They'll just fuck you and price gouge you. Duh. That's part of the reason prices are so high. But if you're a dumbass and you keep minimum wage at $7 an hour, then you'll be homeless and working 40 hours a week. So something else has to give. There has to be something better. And that is a valuation of money. Now, this is actually indica, believe it or not. You have to have an increase in a valuation of your money. You have to get rid of the Federal Reserve. Fiat currency doesn't function. You will always be on this moving goalpost horse shit. Thank you, BG. For the rest of your life, it will always be harder. Every single fucking year, year after year, never ending. By the time you're dead, it'll be $100 an hour, and then your children will be making $200 an hour. Within 3 generations, you're fucking Zimbabwe, where a loaf of bread is $4,000. You're making $1,000 an hour, and a house costs you $40 million. And you have to work till you're 165. But don't worry, companies made a pill that lets you live to 200. Right? I mean, this is what we're heading towards. This sucks. This sucks. This is bullshit. And the funny thing is you still can't afford your life because the vacations are double, the car is double, the insurance is double, $600 fucking electric bills, right? So what are you supposed to do? Just work harder. Just work harder. Now AI's coming to take your job. So how are you going to work harder? I've seen people here and on TikTok. I've been looking for a job for 6 months, 7 months, 4 months. Well, that's homeless, and more homeless. But then once you get homeless, you're not going to get out of it because you need $10,000 to $20,000 in cash. And if you're homeless, somebody will just rob you for it, unless you already own a gun. In which case, if you're homeless, you'll probably switch to a life of crime, and then you'll end up in the streets to prison pipeline, which will be another group of fucking bullshit. So you're fucked. They have you by the balls here, right? You're fucked coming and going, up and down, in and out. There's no way to gain unless you flee the United States, but that would require you having money to save. And of course, you can't escape the United States with more than $9,999, because if you do, they'll think that you're fucking laundering even though the banks are the ones doing the laundering. So you'd have to make multiple trips. You'd have to go from here to Vietnam 30 times to save up money in a shaky bank account while you get your affairs in order so you can go over there and pay $200 a month, and then you still wouldn't have the services that you have here. So what are you going to deal with? How are you going to deal with it? How are you going to make it happen? Yeah, how are you going to make it happen? How are you going to do it with increasing prices, flatlining salaries, increasing cost, no social safety net? What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do, bro? What are you supposed to do? Right? And I've looked at it every way. The government right now, Donald Trump finally did something today where he said, now we're going to make it so companies can't buy large amounts of single-family homes. It's like, man, well, that's been allowed for 20 years. And thank you, Billy. And illegal aliens have a lot of them. So the next, like my generation, the millennials, I'm not going to own a home because of their bullshit. They made themselves wealthy on my future. Took the jobs to China and Mexico. Then what are you going to do with the next generation, the Gen Z? They're not going to own a home either, because the prices now have to come from $500,000 on average for a house down to $150,000. Yeah, I'm American. So my generation, the millennials, we don't have the money to own a home. We will always rent because you stole that from us. Then you have Gen Z. They will not be able to own a home because even though prices will come down, it will come down so slowly that they will be 40 by the time it's even beginning to start to save money, just like me. So then you have the Zoomers. They're the only ones that may benefit if you're lucky. So my kid, is she a Zoomer, Emily?
I'm not sure.
She's 14. Maybe even under her. So maybe in 2.5 or 3 generations, then someone will be able to buy a house. Thank you, Woodsman. Or what's up, Woodsman? And you say, well, something's got to be faster. Yes, it does, but it's not going to be because no one cares. Because we have to, the world needs a trillionaire first. That's literally the mentality of these dumb fucks. We need a trillionaire. Once we have a trillionaire, then the people can have. It's like, I'm done. I'm done with it. It costs too much to live in the Western world. And frankly speaking, if you look at the Western world and you see what we're paying for, and then you look at China, you look at, I know Japan's expensive, you look at Vietnam, you look at Malaysia, you have cultural differences, language barriers, and that type of thing. But the United States is diarrhea looking now. And I love America. I can love America and say this country looks like a pile of shit now. All of your cities look like broken shit. All of them. The roads are horrible. The sidewalks are crumbling. Your infrastructure's failed. You have polluted water infrastructure all over the nation. Superfund sites every 50 fucking miles. You have plastic and garbage everywhere. It's turning into fucking Bangladesh over here. Okay? And instead of taking the money and fixing the roads, cleaning up the waste, you give it for prosecution on technicalities and prosecuting, going after impeachments and taking Trump's name off a building and dumbass bullshit like carbon offsets that don't actually do anything. We're going to pay $1 billion for carbon offsets. Yeah, that's just paying because you polluted. You didn't fix anything, stupid. You just paid money and said it's okay. That's the measure of a retard. The fuck are we doing here? So you're not actually getting out there, dredging the plastic and the chemicals out of the water. You're not doing any of that. You're just jerking off. Financially jerking off. Give me some more money all day. And that's what it is. All day, every day. No Superfund sites are being cleaned up. They're going to allow pesticides in your food. It already is there. God only knows what the fuck conglomeration of what the fuck are you eating in this country. You literally have workers that piss and shit on the floor. This is like fucking India over here. But the difference is you expect that in the third world. You don't expect that in the places that are charging $500,000 for a house. And places that are charging $2,000 on average a month for a fucking shithole apartment. No, you expect a luxurious country for the wealthiest place on earth. Western Europe, Canada, the United States, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, China to a lesser extent, South Korea, some other nations that are starting to come up. We should be financial beacons on a hill. Our streets should be clean, crime-free or nearly crime-free, with trains and transportation that run on time, that don't have graffiti on them, and homeless people setting others on fire, murdering white people because they're white. This should all have been taken care of. And you wonder why aliens don't come here. Because they drive by and they say, oh, they're fighting over race again. We can't come here. These people are too stupid. Oh, they're fighting over, now they're putting chemicals in the food because they want more of the green rectangles. Oh, they're too stupid to land here. Oh, look, they're fighting over fucking whether you should yank a kid out with a coat hanger or not. Whoops, they're too stupid again. Sir, they don't even have trains that run well. They're charging double for the green rectangles. Well, we got to pass by again. If they're too stupid. Yeah, I know. And they don't. That's why they don't come up here, because we're too stupid. So every single piece of news that I look at and I tell you guys has a solution to it that's common sense. And every single thing seems to be that there's some type of Dr. Evil character behind the scenes making the decisions for every single thing in the world. Like there's a right and a wrong answer just by feel of what to do. And everybody takes that and manipulates it. Everybody has a beacon. Thank you, it's Birdie. Thank you, my friend. Everybody has a beacon of what's right or wrong. So it's like, I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. You know that if you're here illegally en masse, it puts a strain on the population, on resources and finances. You know that. You know that government officials use these people for votes. You know for a fact that you have no problem with people coming into America legally. You have a problem with people coming in illegally and you paying for it. That's the problem. And you're not making money and you're paying for it, but you're seeing no gain. That's the problem. You know that. So it doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. You can look at it and say, unless you're a radical lunatic, and say, yeah, it's probably bad for 20 million people to come over illegally and expect the American taxpayer to pay for it. All right? That there's not really a debate here. To say, I want to come here and you pay for me. That, like, if I went to Japan, if anybody, that you make your own meal, you make your own life. Nobody pays for you. All right? So to ask a society to do that by force is disingenuous and morally unacceptable. It doesn't matter what your political party is. Now, you know that you want these people out illegally. But realistically speaking, you also know when Trump's in power, you will never get out all the illegal aliens. You know that. It's not, you don't have to be stupid to figure that out. 20 million people, 20,000 ICE agents, growing protests. We see the writing on the wall, and the writing on the wall here states that given a long enough timeline, the most you'll be able to get out of the country is 5 to 7 million people if you accelerate it and give financial incentives, maybe 10 million. Right? That's everything. And you know this. So, liberals also know that it's not acceptable for us to pay for it. However, conservatives also know that shooting Americans, even if they're in your way, when that girl was shot in Minneapolis and they killed her because she lurched the car forward, you know that her lurching the car forward, thank you, Mabel Cat, was an arrestable offense and an offense that you could have shot her for. However, you also know that standing in front of a vehicle as a man means you could be killed because the vehicle is much larger and more dangerous than you. So you standing in front of a vehicle makes you retarded. So, I stand with ICE. I stand with the people doing their job. But you don't stand in front of a vehicle. What you do is you stand on the sides and you shoot her through the window. You don't stand in front of a vehicle. Even a child knows that. Well, I'm a man with a gun. Wonderful. Even if you shoot the person, you're going to get hit by the car. Stand adjacent if possible. I mean, it's not like you're stupid. And so that's why you're not a cop. Well, okay, yes, I'm going to stand. Your body's not made out of iron, dumb fuck. So you can be a cop and still get ran over with a car. You could be a child, a deer, a cop, a fucking fiddler crab. And as long as you're standing in front of a vehicle, you just being present doesn't stop you from being crushed by a 4,000-pound vehicle. Retard. Now, say, well, I'm going to stop you by doing this. I bet you won't. I bet you'll shoot the person and still get hit by the car, which is exactly what happened. The person lurched forward, you shot him, and you still got hit by the car. Why? Because you were in the fucking path of a car, you stupid asshole. Move over a little bit. Then you have the right to wound her, and she has the right to be arrested and not shot. So you're both not acting stupid that way. But no, this guy had already been drugged. So why did you stand in front of a car? And then to the other woman, why did you accelerate forward? Because your lesbian lover told you to? You don't get to listen to somebody else and tell them they told you to do thus. And then all of a sudden you're absolved from it. That's not how it works. If your lesbian lover tells you to hit the accelerator, you do and crush the cop, expect to be shot in the face. At the same time, you don't have to stand in front of the car hoping they'll come at you so you can shoot them in the face. Now, why is that important? Because now you're shooting Americans. Well, if they didn't, no. That woman was harassing that guy for a long time. That woman, they had been harassing the ICE agents for 3 miles. Here's what I would suggest. I would suggest just leaving ICE alone. Well, exactly. Just leave them the fuck alone. Because have you noticed that the behavior is not getting more relaxed? They're now taking your civil rights away. Right? This is where we're at. And I talked about this yesterday. But everybody will just keep fighting and fighting. They're already going door to door looking for illegals. They're already using flock cameras. They're already using your Ring cameras. ICE has. So your rights are being eroded because of your constant getting in the way of them. Well, we have to protect our illegal brothers and sisters. No, you think you have a moral justification because someone told you your words have power. They do not. They have very little power. Right? You're all the white liberal women and all this shit. I understand that you think you're politically empowered because of Twitter, because of TikTok, whatever. You're not. This is the United States. Your individual voice has very little power on the street. So if you're yelling at traffic and going after ICE, you're very low energy, no matter what you do. If you come on social media like I am and you talk a little bit and you actually reach some people, you're a little more powerful, but not much. And it's the same if you're on television, because then they just piecemeal it based on politics. So already half the country disavows you no matter what you say. So real power comes from being in positions of power, which comes from elected offices, business acumen, intelligentsia. You're not just allowed to have a voice now. Now, I know what you say, every person's voice is speaking truth to power. That happens in very isolated groups. So like BLM, they spoke truth to power within BLM, right? If you look at like conservative movements like MAGA, that's speaking their truth to power, but it's very insulated. Outside of that, the outliers don't really listen to you because it's so polarized. You need to have a logical, common sense style of politics or something that transcends the retardation that's been pulling everybody that one side or another is correct. And you're both incorrect. See, that's the correct answer. And nobody wants to admit that because everybody's an asshole. Right? Being an asshole and being a proud douchebag is really a big issue in America. But he is. But one of the bigger problems is that you're both incorrect when it comes to politics. You're both wrong. Both of your sides suck. They suck dick. No, you're wrong. Your political side sucks dick. So if you're a Democrat or a Republican, you suck. Your thoughts are mashed potato fuck bag. Wrong, incorrect. It's a de-evolved, stupid, pre-World War II. Thank you, BG. Hell yeah. And you said, well, no, being mean isn't cool. I'm not trying to be mean. And it's like, well, why is that? Because we have to evolve. And it's about force. How long, and the reason I'm saying this is, how long have we been sitting there at each other's throats politically? You're wrong. You're stupid. This has been going on for 10 years. All right? This is not something just 1 or 2 years we've been fighting and doing this. This is a decade long back and forth at each other's throats politically with nobody giving an inch whatsoever. And instead of saying, okay, well, because of the fact that we're so insulated, we should, as liberals and conservatives, see that A great deal of America just doesn't listen to either of you. The recent polls that came out showed that 27% were liberal, 27% were conservative, and the rest were independent. So that means that, what is that, 53% of America? Wait, 54. So 46% of America does not listen to either liberal or conservative thoughts. They totally ignore you as if you don't even exist. So when you're 27% and you're like, well, I'm hard MAGA, 27% of you are. And if you say, well, I'm hard liberal progressive, 27% of you are. Right? So like when you see all those, Antifa did it, that's a very slim minority. Same with the MAGA on the streets, very slim minority. The rest of you have just shut it off. You just turned it off. You just turned it off. Everybody just drinks, smokes weed, works, and pretends it doesn't exist now. If Trump comes out and says something, okay, whatever. Then if fucking liberals come out, they just ignore it. Whatever, fucking who cares? So, the liberals all stand in a line. We're forming together against, and they just turn you off. They just turn the news off, and they move on to watching Jacksepticeye on YouTube or whatever the fuck it is. Who's more, God, not Mr. Beast, Jesus. Poison food much, Jimmy? Poison food much? Thank you, BG. I love the owl. Sorry, Feastables? Lunchleys? Dude, come on. I shit better food than that. Mr. Beast, you need to be ashamed of yourself. That's fucking disgusting. I can understand Jake Paul, right? But KSI and you, I thought you were something. The fuck is that? Team C's, Team Trees. I was on board on my last big channel with that. And then what's this bullshit? Huh? Suck a dick. You do better, Jimmy. Anyway, that being the case, I like the owl. So the news is basically the same old shit, but it's not big. We have an aircraft carrier on the way to Iran. In a couple of days, we might be within strike range. Hopefully, that'll be very nice because the people of Iran need to be free. Fuck Ayatollah Khomeini. Suck my dick. Ayatollah Khomeini's a piece of shit. He needs to die. And so does the fucking government, the IRGC. I saw the bodies. I've shown him here. It's worse now. Yes, he did make a deal with Greenland. So there are 16,500 dead, 370,000 wounded in Iran as the government goes by on cars and trucks and shoots innocent people. I was going to do a live stream just reading the dead and showing you the dead, not the bodies, the people that have died. I thought based on its YouTube, probably some of you would break down if you saw some of the dead and the young people. I used to do that on YouTube a long time ago. I don't know if I'll do it again. It's pretty bad. If you look up just Iran on X, the first image is 4 different rooms full of body bags. I could just go through the list. Here's Rabulapur, a passionate advocate for women's rights. Here's a video of her. She was shot outside of her home. She was 18. The Iran massacre is quite bad. You have, here's a guy by the name of Boma Dengani. His parents urged him not to join the protests. They shot him dead in the streets. He was 18. And there's a lot more. By the way, Greta Thunberg, not a word from Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg has recently posted about ICE, Palestine, Venezuela, Sudan, and Pakistan. Not a word about Iran because Greta Thunberg's a piece of shit. Here is another victim. This is Ali Estekar. He's 26. He was shot in the back of the head while protesting. many of the protesters. Here's Saba Ronstani. She was an athlete. She was just shot dead by security forces. I mean, there's so many. It's just an endless sea of faces that I'm looking at. It's just an endless sea of faces that are dead. And we need to blow up the Iranian government. 17-year-old. What? Oh, thank you, BG. Yeah. Holy shit, I've never seen. 17-year-old Bahar Sandamis. She was shot dead by Iranian forces. I should show that. Should I do that? I'll do that. I'm going to show you the Iranian dead real quick. If that's all right. I know YouTube doesn't like that. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to show you the horrific dead bodies or anything. Thank you, Billy. But I will show you the people that are dead. And this is why we need to blow up the Iranian government. Fuck them. I don't care what your beliefs are. And I'll get into my government shortly because my wife is hot. So let's get into it. Let's get into a little bit of an emotional show here. Not usually my forte because of the death, but so let's start, and then maybe you'll change your position on going against Iran. So this is 18-year-old Borma Degani. He went to the protests. He was shot and killed by the Iranian government. He was 18 years old. So there's a gremlin of some sort. Here is Ali Esktar. What? He was shot dead. He was a shop owner and worked on car audio systems. He was shot and killed. It's blurred. This is him. No, I guess it's not. There's him in the protests. And now he's dead. This girl right here is an athlete. Her name, she was killed in Isfahan. Oh, she was an athlete. Her name is Saba Rashtani. I'm not exactly sure what she did. She was shot dead by Iranian forces. So she's dead now for absolutely no reason whatsoever. These people right here, there's 16,500 dead. Here's the faces of others. All these people were shot by the Iranian government. What's up, bees? How you doing? And then I'll get into more. Here is these people were killed by the president of Iran before he died. Here's the rooms of body bags. So this is what I want to show you. So this is the footage we're getting out here. So TikTok doesn't like this because this makes the Iranian government look bad. This is one room of the dead. And if I recall, this is another angle of the dead. And then we have another room of the dead. So that's the Iranian government that nobody's protesting about. There's more. There's more. And it will go on and on. I just want you to know. So he died. More images. This girl was 17. She was killed on the 9th. Murdered by security forces, of course. I saw there's one video of a person being murdered by a hatchet. Here's protesters being shot dead at close range. They put a gun up to his head right there and just blow his brains out. I won't show that footage all the way. Here's 1,400 bodies. So this is worse than Tiananmen Square. What's up, PB? What's up, Proud Boy? So this is why we need to attack the Iranian government. I don't really have anything else to say. It's just bodies on top of bodies, and it just goes. And I'm speeding it up. This is outside. So then we're... And here, let me turn the music off, because I want everybody to understand why I take such a harsh position. I want you to listen. I want you to listen at what these people are dealing with. So let's not close our ears. So let's continue inside the building. You guys support that regime? Because people are going to see what's happening in real life. Because the news isn't showing anybody. The news is doing everything in their power to not show it because advertisers might get upset. Advertisers might get upset. This is what's happening in the real world. This is what some people are protesting for, in favor of, is this. This is what you guys, some people want. How dare they go against the Islamic State? Hey, did you know ISIS took over Raqqa again? ISIS is back. Did you know they're killing Kurds, raping them en masse? That's happening right now. It's time for a little bit more. What's up, Proud Boy? How you doing? So this is what's happening in the real world. They're not showing you this on any news agency because advertisers might get upset. Oh, no. Yeah, there was a guy, he was ISIS, and he had a girl's hair. He had raped and killed her, and he took her hair as trophy. He's Turkish. I'll show you that fuck bag coming up. Yeah, after he raped her to death, so. Don't forget that horrifying part there. All right, so you get the point. You get the point. There's another room. There's another room of the dead. Yeah, oh no, I didn't show it yet, Nana. So that's another room. Here is another Iranian protester, 37-year-old physiotherapist shot dead. Here's a 37-year-old physiotherapist.
Looks like Pete Davidson.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He was shot dead by Iranian security forces. Here's another girl, Shami Mizeh, age 30. She was shot dead also. Here's more body bags. These ones are being loaded onto a truck. Yeah, absolutely. Greta Thunberg, complete silence. Here's more bodies going into a truck. Yeah, no, I want to blow up the Iranian government. Fuck them.
I'll take a pop from it.
Did it?
Yeah, but I don't think
What? There's no. Yeah, that's a guy's shirt. Yeah, that's not a pop. Those are sticky. Yeah, that's like a fern or something.
Oh, okay.
So let's see. This girl right here, Rabina Amani, a Kurdish woman, shot dead by the Iranians. No liberal activists talking about them whatsoever. More murders. They're Dr. Masa Desfalani. She was killed. She's a dentist. They shot her. We've got. Yeah, there's dead body in the road. Dead body in the road right there. Right there. They just left the dead on the road, just like fucking Rwanda. They're just shooting people. A couple of them right there. Oh, there's more morgues. Full to the top. This girl is dancing, and a little girl, and she's stopped by a dead-eyed woman. Yeah, no thanks. More morgues, more bodies. More bodies. Here's more. And it just goes on. Here's a guy shot in the leg. Oh, he's dead. Oh, no. Okay. Yep. His brains are on the road. His brains are on the road. What's up, Billy? This is 17-year-old Emar Ali Haidari. He's shot dead by Iranian security forces. Viewer discretion is... what is this? More dead bodies. So another morgue. Full to the top. A real massacre has taken place. Here's what is this? More oh no, those are just, they're not even covered up yet. So there's another field of bodies. Here's more bodies. Here's more bodies. Because they're just shooting everybody. They're just killing everybody. But let's see what's happening in Iran now, because so I don't want you to look away. I want you to see what they're doing. I want you to see what they're doing because I want to blow these bad guys up. The United States has an armada heading towards Iran, but hoped he wouldn't have to use it as he renewed warnings about killing protesters. I don't think there should be any more warnings. We should just take fuck bags out. Not really much going on with Iran, as you know. There is a lot of dead people, internet blackouts. That's really the mainstay. So even if you could get videos, most of them won't come out of Iran. Yeah, that's from long ago where they renamed it Trump Street. And it's looking like we're going to have to Definitely figure it out. Iran, China, and Russia. Fucking dick. Don't they always lose in our wars? And Israeli airplanes bombing Iran. Yeah, Islam is an absolute scourge on humanity. So, just wanted to show you that. I have absolutely nothing but disdain for Islam in any way, shape, or form. And it's not any type of racism or bigotry. It's just I don't believe that bullshit. I think it's stupid horse shit, and I choose to believe it's garbage. Yeah, hold on. Let me change my thing out here. All right. So that's what's going on there in Iran right now. So I know it sounds gruesome. It's painful. A lot of people dying. But it's what they're not showing you on the mainstream media because, well, they don't actually tell you the news, apparently. They tell you basically advertiser-friendly trash. Yeah, absolutely terrible Cali Galley was. Excuse me. So, winter storm headed this way. 6 injured in a stabbing in Antwerp. Guess who it was? It's always the same, isn't it? 100 skyscrapers for Gaza. Jared Kushner unveils master plan for reconstruction. Do not give it to the Islamics. I want to see what this looks like, though. New Rafah. Why are we doing this? New Rafah will have 100,000 units, 200 housing units, 200 education centers, 180 cultural centers, and 75 medical facilities. So the United States and other countries are building so that the Jewish... Why are we doing this? I don't want to spend money on that. I'm sorry, 180 skyscrapers for Gaza. So the master plan for Gaza, listen to this bullshit. Gaza will be broken into 10 major residential areas, broken up among 17 locations. It'll have industrial complexes, highways and local transport, parks and agricultural areas and sports facilities, and a coastal tourism. Coastal tourism on the coast. So they're effectively turning Gaza into a tourist location. New Rafah, Gaza will have hundreds of skyscrapers, energy and digital infrastructure, and transportation hubs. Who's going to pay for it? The governments of the world will be paying for it, including the United States. So your taxpayer dollars will be paying for this shit. Currently, Israeli military is present in just over half the country. So that means getting rid of Hamas, of course. I'm sure they will not do that. Oh, that's a stupid plan. Apple making its own website, wearable AI. There's not much news today, I'm telling you. Habitable worlds may be far more common than we thought. Very nice. Stonehenge was not moved by glaciers. They drug it down. Another study by the London Daily Mail: women prefer larger penis size. Who knew? Yes, so if you didn't know, according to a recent study out of the University of Western Australia, women prefer a larger penis. Wow. That's obvious. Like, people had to pay money for that. Like, really? Yeah, the little guy never makes it. And sorry, you can't have surgery to fix that. What you get's what you get, buddy. That's a shame. Washington, D.C. Okay, so now they want to open the entire California coastline to oil drilling. That could be a problem. Colorectal cancer is now the top cancer death of young people, probably because of all the food from BlackRock established companies. Probably shouldn't have let private equity take over your food and your health care services. That was probably stupid. Private equity is absolutely horrible. New AI simulations are finding that a civil war could be triggered by what ICE is doing. I will say that going door to door to arrest people is not the way I would do it. That will probably piss off a lot of people.
Major airlines from best to worst. In 2025, we had a clear winner. Of the 9 airlines...
Oh, just tell me the fucking list, yeah.
For Delta, Alaska is to 2.7 categories.
All right, hold on a second.
Passengers, any 25. No other airline. And in last place, we have a tie.
Okay, so the best airlines here in America. The best airline is Southwest, followed by Allegiant and Delta. The 4th best is Alaskan. The 5th is Spirit. United is the 6th. JetBlue is the 7th. And American and Frontier Airlines are ranked last at 8th place both, that people hate totally with a passion. So I'll be sure to try Allegiant Air if I ever fly anywhere. Why not, right? Meteorologists warn Americans that you may need help to survive, as up to 16 inches of snow. Yeah, but the government won't help. Yeah, I've never flown on Allegiant, but I'll tell you what, I live in Indiana. I'm definitely willing to try. Millions of Americans face life-threatening conditions with a massive winter storm coming over some parts of the United States. Roughly 160 million people, or half of us, were under a variety of watches and storm warnings associated with this winter storm, stretching from Arizona and Montana to the Carolinas and Maine. Forecasters now warn that the deluge could crush trees and power lines, knock out power for days, as major cities including Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York, and Boston get enough snow to make travel very difficult or impossible. The next 10 days of winter weather will be the worst in 40 years. Yes, very nice. He then urged America to think about where you go, what you can do, and who needs even more help. But don't forget to work or we'll kick you out. I do not. I have electric only. Yep. So as you know, it'll be a winter storm and you won't be able to go to work.
Oh, darn.
But if you don't work, you won't get paid and you'll get kicked out. So you can't go, but you better pay. Because pay is the only thing that matters in the dumb fuck world we've created. How much can you pay? Because that's God for retards. That's right. Money is God for stupid people. That's right. Anyway, this is not a joke. They insisted. It came as New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani warned that the Big Apple may see up to 16 inches of, slush? Really? Yeah, 16 inches of slush.
Where's that?
New York City. Oh, that sucks. Tomorrow we'll begin pre-snow treatment, bringing highways and major streets, says Mamdani. Once the storm hits New York, sanitation and street workers will be around the clock. They pay pretty well out there. I'd like to live in New York if I could carry a gun. Right now where I live, it is currently 27 degrees. Up in northern Montana or Minnesota, it is 24 below zero. The forecast up through 11 p.m. will show it as high, low as 30 below. That's for today. Tomorrow, the 23rd. Hold on, this is in the way. Tomorrow through the 23rd, 6 a.m. will have 30 below zero. Where I live, it'll be 10. Then, of course, as the day goes, it'll get a little bit warmer. No, it won't. It'll be 6, honey.
When is that?
That's Friday.
Tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. Saturday,
The high is 6?
that's 9 p.m. That's 9 p.m. So at 9 a.m., roughly, it'll be 5 degrees on Saturday. By 11, it will be 4 degrees. So I'm going to go back to Friday. So tomorrow's Friday, right?
Mhm.
So tomorrow at 11 a.m. where I live, it'll be 4 in Indiana. And 24 below zero possible in Minneapolis. So that's 11 a.m. By 9 p.m. it'll be 5. And then overnight, it'll be cold as fuck. And then Saturday will be cold as fuck. And Sunday will also be cold as fuck. Monday, it will be 4 below zero here, honey. Monday night at 10 p.m. Tuesday at 10 p.m. it'll be 13. And it will be cold as shit. It will not be 30. It'll be 28 degrees on the 4th of February. That's the warmest it's going to be at 10 o'clock at night. Because I've had, yeah. So it's going to be very cold. So our $608 utility bill is going to be through the fucking roof. Who says global warming is bad? I don't understand what. Well, we don't want the temperature of the earth to get too high. And yeah, we do. Shut the fuck up. Yes, we do. We do want the temperature of the earth. I don't understand what this is. I want more carbon in the atmosphere, and I want the temperature to go up. Am I the only one that doesn't want it cold here? I mean, are old wealthy white men that control the world addicted to putting on a sweater? Is that what it is? I don't want it to be cold here. I want the temperature to increase, and I want there to be more carbon, because that will be, yes, my electric bill was $600 fucking dollars. So I want it warmer in the world. I want more carbon in the atmosphere. I want it to rain more. And I want it to be warmer here. I want Alaska to be an average of 12 degrees warmer in the summer and 10 or 12 degrees warmer in the winter. That'll make some places a desert. I'm sure it will. But it'll make other places like fucking Virginia tropical. 1,200 by the time this is over. That's what I'm thinking. So any money I make is totally gone. So there's no money at all. So no matter what I make, it's just useless. I can make $7,000 a month. It doesn't mean anything. It's just gone.
We have a $7,000 electric.
Yeah, we have a $7,000. I mean, unless we're all sitting around with a little fire. And so the best I can think, I mean, is it because is the thermostat in the fucking garage or something? Where do they read this fucking thing? I mean, is it stupid? Is there somebody like is there multiple people on our shit?
I don't think so. Because I mean, in the summer,
Because the people that worked here were fucking with the box out there. So I think we need to call the city out here and be like, this is fucking ridiculous. This is not normal. Anyway, sorry about that. McDonald's customers mind blown after seeing menu prices in 2009. The last time people said life was worth living was in 2009. So In 2009, a French fry at McDonald's was $1. It's now $2.49. It was $2.39 for a McFlurry. It's $4.39 now. It was $4.39 for a Happy Meal. It's $7.19 now. So that, and then a Whopper went from $3.89 to $5.79. So your money was not supposed to double. Cost was not supposed to double in that short period of time. And I could go on a lot of things here. An entire value meal, a number. So listen to this. A number 5, which was a Big Mac, a large fry, and a large Coke at McDonald's, was $6.18. A coffee was cookies were 99 cents. Coffee was 79 cents. The Happy Meals were $3.89. That was a high cost. Number 2, which was 2 cheeseburger meal, was $4.99. A 10-piece chicken nugget meal was $5.59. It's now about $9 or something like that. It's some ridiculous. We don't shop there because it's too expensive. Breakfast meals. So a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit meal, a meal with the hash brown and the coffee, $3.89. So it's more than double in some aspects and about double on some. So the price for food is ridiculous. A Canadian woman was euthanized against her will after her husband was fed up with caring for her. This is why I don't like Canada's healthcare system. So you can say it's better than America. Listen to this story. An elderly woman was killed within hours of her husband claiming she changed her mind and insisted she wanted to live. Canada's medical assistance in dying laws allows patients to request a painless death if an assessor agrees their terminal conditions meet requirements. Patients often wait weeks, but it can happen the same day the application is logged. But a report by the Ontario MAID Death Review Committee raised concerns that safeguards on euthanasia were being eroded. One case was an elderly woman in her 80s, referred to as Mrs. B, who had complications after bypass surgery. What's up, Dave? She went on into severe decline and opted for palliative care. Sent home with palliative support. But as her condition got worse, her husband struggled to care for her health, even by nurses. Mrs. B reportedly expressed desire for MAID to her family in response, and was on the same day her spouse referred her to death services. However, she told the assessor she wanted to withdraw, citing personal and religious beliefs. Her husband took her to the hospital where doctors found she was stable, but her husband was experiencing caregiver burnout. Mrs. B's palliative care doctor applied for inpatient hospice due to her husband's burnout, but was denied. Her husband asked for an urgent second assessment later that day, and a different assessor showed up. This one judged her to be eligible, but the original one who contracted as her per protocol objected. The MAID's practitioner, this is convoluted as fuck, expressed concerns regarding necessity of urgency, blah, blah, blah. The request to meet Mrs. B the next day was declined by the provider as the critical circumstances necessitated an urgent provision. Instead, a third assessor was sent who agreed with the second one that she should die. So, because the two did, many members believe this short timeline did not allow all aspects of her social or end-of-life circumstances to be talked about. This includes the impact of being denied hospice care. Many members brought forward concerns, but they killed her anyway. I hate when they fucking drag the story out. I mean, they just keep saying, this was happening, and had they done this, now let's go over what we learned. It's like, just get to the fucking point! Quit writing news stories with AI to stay on it as long as possible. So she died because the caregiver had fucking burnout. And 2 of the 3 assessors said so. So even though she didn't want to die and cited religious purposes or religious objections, they killed her fucking anyway. There, that's all the story took. So why the jerk off for 30 minutes? God, I'm sick of AI. Anyway, the reasons for people dying because of this type of euthanasia, 63% for cancer, 18% for cardiovascular, 15% for other, 13% for respiratory, 12% for neurological. The reasons why people are choosing to euthanize are 86% say they cannot engage in meaningful activities. 81% also, so saying more things, cannot perform daily activities. 59% added pain. And 12% say they want to die because they can't afford life. So 12% of people are choosing to euthanize themselves because they can't afford the medical expenses. They're too poor to live. So the Canadian government has chosen to just euthanize you. Fantastic. What a bunch of dumbasses. And they arrested a couple of agitators for the church in Minneapolis. Judge defies Trump's Department of Justice. Won't sign a complaint against Don Lemon. He's just a douchebag anyway. Virginia Democrat moves to squash oversight of nonprofits so that Somali fraud scandals won't happen. So they'll just hide it. Ohio woman gets 30 years to life for bestiality. You can do 30 to life for fucking animals? Damn, okay. I mean, that's longer than human rape. So this bitch fucked a horse and she gets 30 to life, but other men rape women and they get 10 years. And she's like a normal girl too. In Ohio, a woman was sentenced to 30 years behind bars for a and children. Okay, that makes sense then. The case surrounds the woman Sawana Mayfield and her husband Justin. She was charged with rape and sexual contact with animals, pandering sexually oriented matter involving a minor and endangering children. Okay, well, that makes sense. A tier 3 sex offender. What did the husband do? The husband, she was also pled guilty with her husband to child rape, pornography, and bestiality. Okay, well, see, they make it sound like she fucked a horse and got 30 years. This is once again why I don't like AI writing stories. Don't make me beg for it. Let's just look at the news. You know what I mean? This isn't an unboxing, for fuck's sakes. Anyway, so that's basically what we're doing here. That's the news. Sorry it wasn't big. Not really sure what to tell you. We worked out a deal with Greenland. What's up, Omega? What's up, One? Everybody's up in arms about politics. Oh, it's Omega. And the government's been real fucked up. Should I go over my government?
No.
You say no? Yeah, you're really having me wind down this attempted money making thing.
Oops.
Anyway, so yeah, that's the news. I'll go longer tomorrow. that's the news. I'm sorry there's not much of it. By the way, I will be gaming coming up here on my other channel. That will be Wu Tai 1 Nostalgia. So if you want to follow me, Wu Tai 1 Nostalgia, I'd actually like you to follow me. That account's got 264,000 followers. If you'd like to follow me there, I removed all my old, or about 90% of my old content. So it looks like a dead channel. It is. It went from getting 150,000 views a day to getting 2,000, if that. Because I'm starting completely over. I did it on purpose. So, Wu Tai 1 Nostalgia here on YouTube. Follow me there. Hit subscribe. I will be doing gaming over there. It's not my usual shit I was doing, but I don't give a fuck. I'm moving another direction. And if it fails, it fails. And if it doesn't, I don't know. Oh yeah, nobody. Yeah, I'm probably shadow banned. Oh, you can only get 3 notifications a day, even though I haven't put up any content. So YouTube is kind of. I'm a big gamer. Hell yeah, my friend. See, my very first page on TikTok, I got 30. Wu Tai 1 Nostalgia. WUTAII1. Wu Tai 1. Just like Wu Tai from Final Fantasy 7. That's where I got the name. And I used to put up a bunch of kids bullshit. And because YouTube sucks about that, they won't monetize any of it if it's kids content. They're just like, fuck you. So me and my wife removed all of it. And then I'm going to start gaming on it. You left the Minecraft videos up there, right? Like the long form ones. Okay. So go check out. I have Minecraft videos of worlds I built on there. About 30 minutes long, some of the videos. And I've got shorts. I didn't upload anything on it for like 3 months. I just now started. Sorry, I'm slow. I know it's not the greatest content, but I'm starting over completely. Look at, or just look up at Nostalgia Man. Wu Tai 1 Nostalgia. Or you can look up Nostalgia Man. It's got an image of Link. It's got 200. Thank you, Mary. It's got 260 something thousand followers. Newsom's a pile. Oh, I thought that was hilarious. And so it's just gaming. Right now it's just shit. It's just trash. It's some stuff that I put up with Snapchat filters when I was young, and she had me do annoying. Well, when yeah. There's videos of me in SpongeBob costumes singing. Oh my God. It's just horse shit because me running over things with a car. It's old stuff. I never got a lot of views. Like I said, all the stuff I used to do, I used to steal bumpers from Nickelodeon, and I used to steal stuff from Disney and all this, and I would put it up in my own way and make AI music. But YouTube doesn't like that, so I deleted all of it. That was most of my content, so I'm literally starting over from scratch. So if anybody has any idea what to do, I got 250,000 followers on the channel. Most of my followers came from before the algorithm changed in 2020. So I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. What do you want from me? Hopefully I will figure it out. But you can go check out me gaming over there. And no, I won't be talking on it. I'll just be killing and blowing shit up. I might talk on it. It depends on if anybody's interested or not. But follow me over there, Wu Tai 1 Nostalgia. And also follow me on TikTok, Sup America. It's got just under 70,000 followers. It might be there. I don't know. So yeah, like I said, when I was on TikTok and it's like, oh man, mercy me. I've got 300,000 followers. Like I have 260,000 followers here. I always have. Behind the scenes, I always have. Me too, Nana. I love doing that. So it's like I'm not monetized on it, but it's like I'm always going to be famous somewhere. So, right, honey? Mm-hmm. And that's what it is. And if I'm not, I'll just remake it on TikTok. But not until I know Oracle has it now, right? Oracle has it now. And it's like, okay, well, I'm definitely not starting a political page on TikTok again until I know for a fact that they don't suck dick. And if they bring my account back, great. If not, I'm not going there until I know, because I've been banned 9 times on TikTok. I'm not doing it a 10th until I know that I can say the word retard and get away with it. Basically, right? It's not misinformation. It's until they get rid of the ability for the general public to false report people with 20 accounts. There's no point in going on TikTok, because what people do on TikTok is they make 10 fake accounts and they'll go on one and false report. Then they'll switch, false report, switch to a third, false report, fourth, false report, fifth, false report. And then the algorithm shuts them down. YouTube doesn't do that. What happens with YouTube is if you false report, eventually your reports don't have any weight or validity. So if you false report over and over and over again, and it comes back as no violation, your violation, like your reporting has no validity. So if the algorithm on YouTube, this is why I like YouTube, because if the algorithm on YouTube, if you false report with 6 fake accounts and all of them come up with no violation, like they know your IP address. So your reporting, next time you do it, they don't even listen. It's like, la, la, la. And it's like, why didn't TikTok do that? YouTube did that. So clearly they're better. Why didn't TikTok just say, yes, clearly someone's going to take advantage. They're going to try to bump you out of the way or not like you or scam your followers. I had a Discord, yeah. But like I always said, I appreciate the gifts. I appreciate the Cash Apps, all that. It's not about the money. It's about the message. Obviously, we need money to survive, though, one of these days. But it's never about the money. It's about the message, because they can take everything away, blah, blah, blah. But we all know that advertisers in the news have an agenda, and the agenda is not pro-America. And I'm sick of everybody labeling each other. What is this? What is this? Listen to this. 4 hours ago, Davos, President Trump's team is meeting with Vladimir Putin right now. Are they in Russia? They're in Russia right now. 4 hours ago. They didn't tell the public this at all. They're meeting right now to end the war. Oh, and by the way, women in Pakistan and shit like that are trying to be free as well. Oh, here's people being stabbed. Look, honey, happening in England right now. 19 hours ago, some black dude walking around just stabbing strangers.
Happening right now, 19 hours.
Well, 19 hours ago. Oh, here he comes. He's going to stab. Yep, he stabs he stabbed the woman. And he stabbed the baby. Oh, he stabbed the baby twice. Stabbed the baby. And everybody's just standing around. No. Oh, no. Oh, everybody's running away like pussies. Kick his ass. He stabbed the baby again. You have to kill him. You can't. He's not going to stop until you break his fucking neck. You have to rip his throat out and kill the guy. You can't. Oh, no, please stop. That's not going to stop him. You have to kill him. You have to physically rip him apart. He has a knife. You have to possibly get stabbed, take it away, and you have to cut his fucking head off. You can't just jog around him. That's what you have to do it. You have to be a man. You have to grow a dick. You can't be a beta fuckbag anymore. Anyway, sorry about that. Don't forget, I do have one podcast episode on this page, by the way. I have one episode. So yes, if somebody ever starts mass attacking, don't be a pussy. You have to kill the guy. So if somebody ever has a gun or if they have a knife and they're stabbing strangers, you can't, that doesn't do anything but get you and others killed. So you have to grab a weapon or rock. You have to physically kill the guy. Don't stop, whatever it is. You saved lives by getting rid of them. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, share, like, hit the notification button. Follow me on the other YouTube account at WuTai, WuTaii1 Nostalgia. Follow that, and then we'll go play some GTA, and we'll buck down some strangers for fun. So we'll see you later, and if you don't like me, block me and go fuck yourself. Right there.